I'm very proud of a more recent technology that has allowed us the ability to digitize the bill of lading right at pickup. I'm big into data, and that gets me access to data so that I could bring all these efficiencies to the operation.
The trucking industry is crazy right now, and being a broker can be stressful. Managing your invoices, billing, collecting, carrier base, and cash flow can feel like an impossible task. But I can tell you OTR Solutions has figured out the impossible. They eliminate cash flow problems for carrier payments and ensure margin funding in just 24 hours with broker invoice factoring. OTR Solutions takes care of billing and collection processes with your shippers. And with lightning quick and accurate invoicing, your customers will never need another broker to handle their freight needs. Kick back, relax, and let OTR take care of your brokerage. If you want to know more, and I hope you do, check them out at otrsolutions.com/freight-caviar or text OTRFC to 80483 to see what they can do for your business.
We've partnered with Ascend TMS, the world's most popular and top-rated transportation management system. It's the ultimate tool for all your freight needs. You can use our referral code RA-FreightCaviar! To receive 3 months of Ascend TMS for free. It only takes 20 seconds to sign up and no credit card is required. You can click the link below to learn more.
Receive $200 off your ticket at Manifest using our link today. We are excited to once again partner with Manifest for their upcoming event, Manifest Vegas, from February 5th to 7th, 2024. Dubbed the world's largest global supply chain and logistics tech gathering, it promises a unique blend of Fortune 500 supply chain executives, fresh startups, and tech pioneers. Be among the 4,500 plus supply chain innovators, and remember, by using our exclusive link, you can save $200 off your ticket. Don't miss out.
Thank you, Paul, for having me on the Freight Caviar Podcast. We've got Joe Klikas with us. I don't know if I should be doing this intro, but let's get rolling.
Yeah, well, Joe, thanks for having us at the Custom Companies office here in Northlake. It's a pleasure to be here. Like, when you entered the logistics industry in 2008, how was the market like then? And do you see any like similarities between the market in 2008 and maybe like this year?
Lots of stress. I remember coming in, and you're absolutely right, because they were like, at the time, you had a lot of businesses laying folks off, and a lot of challenges, a lot of people worried about the business itself, the job. And I'd come in and I was, learning from peers who were, completely stressed about what was happening. And so, but I think through that, through those challenges, you learn a lot, you grow a lot, and the strong survive.
Yeah.
And I got to work alongside some people who really worked hard for a living and were passionate about growing this company. And the owner himself too he's very hands-on. So to see him kind of push through that, and we didn't lay folks off. We knew that the product would survive. We knew the company would survive, and we knew the structure of our business was one that would survive. And so witnessing all that firsthand, I think, made me a better freight leader, better freight. At the time, it was just a freight sales rep. So it made me better at what I was doing.
And definitely builds confidence in the company at that time, kind of keeping the team, the group together through tough times like that. Yeah. And then, withstanding a recession once. This time it's like, all right, we've done it before, we can do it again.
And character.
Yeah, definitely.
Lots of character, so.
I would love to hear your thoughts, Joe, on the evolution of the market. So you came here 15 years ago, and you've seen it all for the last 15 years. What are like some significant milestones or changes that have happened, or overall maybe there have been significant changes? Has the market with technology and overall like trucking stayed more or less the same? What are your thoughts on
that? I think the evolution is, it spans a number of different directions. I get very excited about technology, so I love seeing all that enter the space. I'm a firm believer that tech is a tool for the folks in this industry, so you'll never remove the human element. And it's not only the human element of the driver within the truck, but also the people that are involved in the transaction as it picks up and as it moves across the country, moves locally, and reaches the final destination. So, as technology enters the space and makes it easier for us to do what we do, that leads to our success within the industry. It's an absolute necessity. But you also have things like e-commerce that has just exploded. And, from a trucking company that, we're a B2B provider primarily, but you evolve. And as you evolve, you become more B2C, and you have to adapt and come with all the challenges that do come with delivering to a consumer direct, and meeting their expectations, because the demand of the consumer is high, and you gotta make them happy with the services that are provided. So I think the big highlights, the economies, you're always going to have challenges. Okay, you're going to see tough markets, you're going to see good markets, but to see the boom in the tech space and all that it brings to the table, and to see the transition from B2B to direct to consumer has been a big transition for us.
So out of that 15 years that you've been here so far, which technology that got you most excited to help you serve your customers a lot better?
Great question. So I'm very proud of a more recent technology that has allowed us the ability to digitize the bill of lading right at pickup. I'm big into data, and that gets me access to data so that I could bring all these efficiencies to the operation. So we spearheaded that product with a technology provider, and we've adopted it, and it's in full production right now. So we're very happy about that.
Joe, what is your current perception on the state of the LTL market at the current moment, and what do you foresee happening in the future?
I think LTL is in growth mode. It's not significant growth mode. I think a lot of the LTL carriers are preparing for the economy to recover. We're optimistic. We're excited. I think, 2024 is no mystery. It's an election year. Okay, and election years can swing a lot of different ways. But I'm an optimistic person as well. So I'm hoping for a good, more balanced year. LTL is there's so much to balance in LTL, because we're always working on, filling trucks, moving trucks efficiently and effectively. So, consistency is so important. So as it returns to itself and business norms start to increase and the economy starts to return itself, I think, next year is going to be a good year. Now, where does the demand on the consumer go, and who are the manufacturers? There's so many other components that relate in LTL that is not just making sure that my trucks have enough product in there. So
Sure.
I'm excited for those challenges as well. And I think that's what keeps us, in LTL, is every day is unique, and, every year is different. And you could say, I believe this is what's going to happen, but I think what does happen and those unknowns also allow us to bring passion to this.
Hey there, amazing listeners. If you're enjoying what you're hearing on our podcast, we need your support. It will only take a moment, but it would mean the world to us. Please make sure to hit the like button on this video, subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to share with one of your friends that would enjoy our content. Your engagement helps us reach more people and bring more awesome episodes to you. Thanks a million, and thanks for being part of the podcast community.
And in terms of the growth of the custom companies, can you walk us through the initiatives that you implemented to contribute to the significant success that you've had here in the last 15 years?
So I think our growth is attributed to the number of different things that we do. I think what the client enjoys when they do business with us is a driver showing up to their facility and being able to collect whatever business that they have for shipping. And if some of the needs are expedited in nature, we can service that. If some of the needs are volume in nature, we can service that. If some of the needs are ground in standard and delivery expectations, we thrive in that. And so just having that approach to business allows us, as things change within the economy, demands change, so the speed becomes more of a factor, or maybe demand shift and price becomes more of the factor, we're ready for that business, and we could adapt very quickly for that shipper. So, in those instances, I think we grow when we're able to leverage some of our more brokerage nature tools. And because of those products and those technologies that we bring in from a volume perspective, we're very good in the market when an order becomes 8+ pallets in nature. We do very well out of Chicago and LA. We do extremely well when the demand of the order becomes increased, and you have a number of stores to hit within a particular window of time in order to get a marketing piece into storefronts. I mean, we have a very large facility here. We have a very large facility in California. So to take in that product, prepare it for order, and get it to the location that's needed, that's another thing we thrive in. So you're talking about an economy that is in growth mode and has a serious push on getting product out there. We excel. Mm-hmm. One that's building order to be cost effective, we have a solution there. So in all of those instances, I think when we are getting our brand out there and a shipper's leaning on us for solution, those offerings have allowed us to grow year after year.
I'm trying to get a description of your ideal customer that you're looking for now. So I have a relationship with medium-sized businesses in the southeastern part of the United States. You're not going to say no to our business. You're going to come and can you walk like maybe a 3-step process of what it would look like if, hey, I'm interested. I just watched Joe on the Freight Caviar Podcast and I'm interested. Like how can their business help do something for me that others aren't doing today, and try to help solve some of these problems. Now I know what you guys are specializing in, but you guys won't say no to grow. And talk to me on your ideal customer and a 3-step process of it. If I came to you today, Joe, what would it look like if I wanted to work with you on custom company?
So I think the approach that we have, I mean, we're an opportunity-driven company, okay? So we really pride ourselves in being presented with a challenge and saying, create the solution for that challenge. Mm. And more often than not, those challenges exist within Chicago and Los Angeles because, that's where, we've originated as a business. But you're right, more often than not, we're presented with a particular shipper that we have a relationship with in LA, and now they've opened up a facility elsewhere within the country.
Sweet.
And I think some of the tools that we've been that have evolved within our brokerage now allows us the ability to provide service. And I think
within your brokerage,
correct. So I think where we leverage that for the solution there too is the number of relationships that we've had over the last few decades that have done final mile for us. Mm-hmm. Those partnerships are more than willing to support us and more than willing to entertain meeting the needs of a particular shipper that we've had a long-standing relationship, or somebody that has just seen me on your wonderful podcast and said, this could be a solution for us, right? Mm-hmm. And I think the beauty in that, I think over the years that the supply chain professional used to look for big providers to answer big, challenges. And I think now, the beauty is with data the way it is, with technology the way it is, you can come to the table and create a solution. You don't have to be this big provider. I mean, I like to think we're quite large, but we don't have the national presence as some of the larger carriers. Yet I could compete with them on presenting a competitive solution in the markets of Charlotte, in the markets of any major city across the country.
There's definitely potential there because there are industries like in real life that when we like the parking meter yesterday downtown Chicago, you got a much better rate because you were able to get that.
Spot Hero.
And I went old school into that Spot Hero, right?
Yeah.
That was something you could automate. But trucking is very complex and that's a little bit hard to do. But there is this maybe it could be done. I'm gonna butcher this for sure, but there's this metaphor I've heard about you could get the thunder or the lightning into the bottle. But to capture it and put the cork on, you're kind of throwing the lightning into the bottle, the tech, the AI, that's lightning in a bottle. But who's gonna figure out how to put that cork onto it so that, like Joe said, it's actually the customer actually likes it. You know what I mean? Because I hate it when I have to call a company and I'm just on hold forever talking to robots.
Yeah.
Dude, right away 0000 talk to them. Give me a human.
That's the product experience pretty much everybody hates is picking up the phone and doing dial 1, dial 2, or
until we become cyborgs, it's gonna be hard.
So Joe, I do want to touch on the topic about your relationship still with the LTL mega carriers because you visit all of them. Can you kind of take us like behind the scenes of like
Joe's creating an alliance.
going to visit like all these LTL mega carriers across the United States, and maybe touch on like the relationships that you have, and how does that relationship look like?
Well, one, I'm running an operation. I'm absolutely, enamored with other operations. I want to know what's going on, how are they doing it, how's their facility. It's a curiosity that I don't think I'll ever overcome. I think there's so much beauty in this industry to see, the amount of people that it takes to really run a successful operation. And so let's plug that again instead of that technology.
More jobs.
Yeah. And then I think in trucking, there's such an assortment of small providers to large providers. And the truth is, we all work together in some way, shape, or form.
That's right.
So old school in sales, I want to shake a hand, I want to sit down and talk, I want to break bread and understand your business and understand mine, and whether we do business together or not, to be friends within the space is very important to me. For them to know our brand and what our brand stands for, and even in the instance of that provider, there's many trucking companies that will come to us for certain solutions, and we're happy to oblige. And it's no longer this risk, especially in the carrier space. I think this risk of, if they bump the dock of one of my customers, they're going to get the shipping. And I think we can play well amongst each other and support each other without interfering with each other's businesses. And I say that just from the perspective of a very small to mild relationship, but we're dependent on partners across the country to do final delivery in many markets, and they do a wonderful job, and we wouldn't be the provider we are without them.
If I'm a carrier rep, carrier sales manager with history, if I'm a customer rep, if I'm a tech guy, what do you think makes you different from all of the other 3PLs popping up in the Chicago market, in the country? Like, I think we can all agree that there's a lot of changes going on in the game, the 3PL game, that's for sure, right? With this economy, with that, like,
nothing is certain. Everybody's trying to figure it out, especially with all, like, everything post-COVID. Basically turn everything upside down.
We haven't seen this before, and so what would make it appealing for me to come to custom companies?
Well, I think first is the people. The people who work for us are I think among the best, because they're well trained across a number of different service types. When you're talking a small to mid-sized shipper and things change within their world, they want somebody to have a solution, and there's nobody better out there than us to navigate that accordingly, because we have it all under one roof. Amongst that, you need to have a suite of technologies at your disposal to do so. So I think the beauty of what we're investing in 2024 is a web environment that allows a shipper everything in one space. If your shipment is, like I said, expedited, or your shipment is, cost conscious, you can go to our website and be able to put in that pro number and get any bit of information you want on that shipment. So I think that is beauty. I think so we're looking to bring it all together through one web environment.
You guys have locations. Do you guys allow me to work remotely? Say I'm a customer rep with my own book of business. Can I come to custom companies and build a team? Say I like living near the beach of Florida or North Carolina. Is that something that we could talk through and work out, or no way, only in office?
I think Tom wants a job. On the beach.
Speaking for all the customer reps out there.
I'm not going to let him work for him on the beach.
Or carrier reps.
I think
Can't scuba beach to the beach, book some freight. I know someone that's done that before.
Yeah, no, we're an in-office employer. I think we try to find the beauty in that, because I think when somebody comes to work for our company, they come to get different experiences with transportation. If they want to grow and become an expert in the space, there's very few places I think they can go and gain the experience that they gain here.
You're saying here's like an elite training ground to become, to do it well, do it right. If you want your customers to be really happy, and you want that experience to learn and become elite, And also, if you want to take things seriously, this is the place.
Which creates opportunity too.
Yeah.
Because, through that training, through the understanding and the experience within all those different modes of shipping, you're in high demand. And, to work within here, then you have that ability to grow. And, I like to believe I'm a representation of that. I came in 15 years ago, sold for the company for 2 years, became absolutely in love with this industry, and from there just
That's rare,
continued to
Joe.
grow.
Someone falling in love with this industry.
Yeah.
I think there's a hate-love,
There is such a
relationship,
love-hate to it.
I mean, sometimes you get burnt out, and there's obviously like situations that occur that are very stressful.
Have you ever been stressed, Joe?
I think say no, but the gray hair would say otherwise.
All right. Just making sure.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, that's what Joe started off the interview with. He was saying that the similarities between the 08 and this year is the stress.
The stress.
The high stress. Yeah. Joe, I'm wondering, how many loads a day does the custom company ship?
Total? Across all modes of shipping?
Across all modes.
Thousands. So
Thousands.
Thousands.
Okay.
Probably in excess of, I'd say, 3,000 shipments a day.
Okay.
Across, you're talking expedited, you're talking local,
Sure.
You're talking cross-country LTL, you're talking volume, you're talking full truckload. So
Yeah.
it's a lot of freight.
So when you started in 08, do you remember how many shipments were being shipped then?
I wish I did.
Okay.
I mean, at
Was
that
it still like 1,000? Do you think it was 1,000 or something?
Notebooks.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, you're just out there. I mean, that was the downturn. You're out there hustling freight.
Yeah.
You're out there trying to create relationships and trying to service clients. And I was still trying to learn the business. And I think in my career path, because I was so focused on learning more, I wanted to gather. I wanted to be challenged. That you're absolutely right. You lose some of the information along
Sure.
the way, but
You're not really focused on that then.
No, I mean we've enjoyed growth. What percentage of growth? I would, if you're going to force me to guess, I would probably say we're in that 2,000, 2,200 shipments per day.
Okay.
15 years ago, and we've grown significantly since. So.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Love to hear that.
Awesome.
Good stuff. To wrap it up, can you just kind of tell us a little bit maybe about what the custom company does on the side in terms of like helping out the community? I know that's kind of something that you do focus on.
Yeah, it's a lot of the charities that we deal with are near and dear to my heart, and the owner of the company, the founder of the company, is very charitable. We have a foundation called Custom Cares Charity, so but we not only promote it against a number of different charities, but we like to feel that all the employees embrace that same charitable aspect. So we are all about giving back. We're all about being there for the community. I mean, hence the pride for Chicago, hence the pride for Los Angeles. I mean, those are our backyards, and those are the people that we love. And I'm not going to go into detail on the particular, but there's plenty that are very near and dear to our heart.
I love that. Amazing. Well,
Great.
Joe, thank you so much.
You got to give back, right?
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much for taking the time
This is great. Thank
talk
you.
to
Yeah,
us.
So
thank
much.
you, gentlemen.
Really enjoyed it.
Awesome.
Thanks for tuning in to the Daily Freight Caviar Podcast. If you enjoyed the podcast, or if you didn't, leave a review. Let me know what you think. I appreciate any feedback. If you'd like to have more Freight Caviar content, go to freightcaviar.com and subscribe to my email newsletter.